I think you guys
Well,
will find
yep,
this interesting.
yep, give it to us.
So Toyota's venture arm backs, I don't know if it's Fly or FLAI to automate dealership phone calls with AI. And
Ooh,
I don't know what you guys think about this, but if I was calling my dealer for some scheduled maintenance or something, and I mean, already I'm sure you sometimes get a robot, and we know, I mean, you know my thoughts on an answering machine robot, but I'm not sure that AI is ready for this, and I think it would frustrate me. What are your thoughts?
I would have to say that if anybody answers a phone at a dealership service department, that can actually be a bonus because even though I agree, of course, the old robotic systems that we're used to are horrible. We could probably go on TikTok and just find, streams of people just shouting at their phones, going,
Oh yeah.
"Zero, representative, human," and then streams of expletives, from the older systems. Hopefully, the AI systems will be better, but of course, we know the biggest problem I've seen with a lot of dealership service departments is the service doesn't even answer the phone. You'll call the main switchboard number and say, "Yeah, I need service," and it'll go bring, 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 and then, "Hello, what would you like for sales?" Press
Right.
one for wait a minute, I pressed two already. And so
Either that or you get the thing where it's like, we're sorry, all representatives are busy right now. Please leave your name and number. We'll have someone call you back as fast as they're available, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, my concern is up front though, and it's going to vary between states, obviously, with what they require. But if I don't know that I'm talking with something that's computer generated and it's tracking my number and then, working it reverse backwards to figure out where I'm living, and so forth, and it's using it to generate data for marketing purposes and so forth, and I'm not aware of it, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm going to be like, no, I didn't give you permission for that. Now, if it comes on, it says your call will be, monitored for, employee improvement and satisfaction and so forth, then that's your call to make. That's your call to say, okay, I want to stay on the line or I don't. And they ought to at least give you the option. If you don't mind, this being recorded, press this. If you want to wait for a live body, press this. That way, at least it's the client.
At the beginning, that's a good idea. Yeah.
That way, it keeps it on the up and up. It's on the level.
In fact, again, like you said, not knowing. I've seen some people that are working on AI agents that have personal communications with clients or customers.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing they do is say, "Hey, I'm a robot, but please don't hang up. We're trying our best.
Right.
And I'm a new AI robot, and after all, you can say bad words to me and I won't get mad. So, give me a shot for a few minutes. If you don't want to, and again, to your point, then they could add, and if you don't want to, if you can just hold on for one of my lazy human overlords,
yeah, you can have some fun with it.
Who's probably probably playing doodle jump on their phone and won't answer anyway. But if you really hate robots, go ahead and hit one now, and we'll try to get you to a living, breathing, sack of meat eventually, but that's probably not going to work out for you."
Yeah, the human-based life form that needs to take this call is out smoking a cigarette. I can see him right now. We'll page him again, try to get him on the phone for you.
When he does answer the phone,
it,
when he does answer the phone, he's going to be really impatient with you because he needs to go buy a huge bag of Cheetos.
That's right. I think it'd even be fun to sit there and say, you can opt if you like for me to disconnect you, transfer you to a few other departments so that you feel at home. We can get somebody on the phone for you right away. But no, the whole thing is that we all know that that's going to be used to refine and hone further AI and algorithms. I mean, that's all the information is used for.
Yep,
it's going to be taken, dissected, and parsed, and boom.
So So your personal information in the event of AI, which is being used when the return channel that is the human is actually being used for the model, it can't be actually touched by anyone. It's used for training, and so it goes into a mathematical vector database. So nobody can ever really go, well, this Rick guy, he lives in South St. Louis and he likes to eat Cheetos, so we'll send him some ads for Cheetos.
I mean, I don't care if it's true, but just the fact, I just want to make sure it's accurate.
Yes, yeah. All right.
I mean, I think that's
crunchy. Rick, puffed
And
or
that's
crunchy? That's the important thing. Puffed or crunchy?
That's right. Well, that's the one thing, like right now, like if I have a need for, I mean, I just had my oven go on the fritz, okay? And it was a Maytag. Well, I wanted to find a Maytag authorized repair facility here in St. Louis, and I wanted to be able to talk with one of their techs, okay? I know a little bit about wiring and this kind of thing. So, you know, I called the place and I said, now it says in your ad online that you're an authorized Maytag specialist. Okay, so how many years have you been doing? Well, the gal doesn't know anything, right? You know, I don't know, sir. I'm
She's
new
in
here,
another
right?
country. How would she know how many years?
Well, no, she wasn't. She was from the country. She spoke the King's English. Okay, it was, you know, it was all right. But the problem was that I said, look, I really need a couple of minutes with one of your techs. I've already replaced a couple of things. I replaced the new transistor board and everything else and so forth. It's still not working. It's not responding. It's mainly the LED panel, and I think it's the soft touch screen that was on the front of it. But I said, look, if he thinks he can fix it, I'll have you guys come out immediately. Okay, I'll pay the $180 fee and whatever the parts are, and you know, and so forth to get the damn thing working. But if he tells me after I tell him what I've done that, you know what, I really can't offer you anything other than what you've done, then honestly, I don't want to spend almost $200 to have him come out and tell me that, right? I mean, if I'm not going to get anything out of it, then I'm not going to mess with it.
Speaking of
But
the little
it's
transistor board,
Yeah, I mean,
I just got a toaster oven that has 3 knobs on it. It's got a knob for you set the temperature. It's got a knob to set it whether it's going to be toast or air fryer or whatever.
right.
And it's got another knob that has a clock spring in it, and you turn it past 20, and then you set the time, and it goes.
Yep.
Not a piece of I can make, after the Chinese explode a nuclear bomb up in the atmosphere and get that, I will be able to make
It'll still
toast.
work. Yeah.
The timer in my toaster oven broke, so now everything burns if I don't stare at it. And it's one of those old ones, unfortunately.
But you know what I told the person? She was smart enough, and at least I guess because they're monitoring the calls. I think the recording actually did say all calls are monitored for training purposes, blah, blah, blah. Fine, that's good enough. But she asked me, she goes, well, why did you call us? And I said, honestly, I find 3 or 4 places that I'm going to call, and they're in alphabetical order or top ranking on, you know, social media and so forth for your, you know, your placement. And whoever picks up the phone first is who I'm having a conversation with. I'm not falling for, please leave your name and number and we'll get somebody to call you back here in just a little bit. I'm not doing that. And so I may call 10, 15 places, but the first person that picks up, 9 times out of 10, I'm going with them. Why? Because a live body picked it up. And dealers have to, you know, Dave Sinclair here in St. Louis is big on that. When you call in, it says, hi, this is, you know, James Sinclair or whoever. Thanks for calling us. A live body is going to pick up in just a minute. Please hang on. And I'm going to tell you that is refreshing, you know, today, right? And sure enough, a live body picks up the damn phone, you know, but these dealers that rely on the AI to answer their phone, do all this stuff, they figure, well, I'm getting that message out. I'm going to get them to leave me their. No, you're not. You start looking at how many actually leave the info and don't. You're going to be shocked at what you find.
That's all that AI is capable of. That's a cheap AI, and you're right. That's not going to help them any.
No.
If the AI can actually interact, but you know, we're seeing a lot of this stuff being overhyped and under delivering. I mean, I swear 20 years ago, I'd ask Siri to do something, and that little chick would get her little butt in gear and do it. Mm-hmm. This time, I can tell Siri to do stuff, and she has every excuse. Like, call Rick Peters. I'm on the phone. I'm on Bluetooth. Call Rick Peters. You need to unlock your iPhone to do that. Really? So I'm supposed to pick up my phone while I'm doing, okay, I won't say the actual speed because that could be used against me in court. While I'm driving at a high rate of speed on the interstate, I'm going to pick up my phone. I'm going to type in my little 6 digits. It never used to do that before.
No. Well, as you know how it goes, the more high tech something becomes, the more troublesome it becomes, period. Okay.
For a long time. Yep.
But I remember from when I was a little kid back in the early 60s, my dad had a saying, and this is what he picked up in the military. If it has more than 2 moving parts and human beings that are involved, it's not if it's going to break, it's when it's going to break. So whether it's AI or whether it's something mechanical or whatever, the more advanced it gets, the more complicated it gets, the more parts there are, the more problems you have. You know, it's inevitable.
there's some potential with the AI, especially I think the AI could be trained pretty well to handle triage. So the AI could be pretty good at saying, hello, I'm just a stupid robot, but please don't get mad at me yet. Did you need service or parts, or did you need a salesperson? And if you need a salesperson, is it in Toyota or is it in Nissan? You know, they
Right.
can handle some of that, and they can handle it quicker than a recording because they can interact more. Rather than being,
As
just
long as it's
only
responsive and it can, yeah, and the conversation can be back and forth there, and you can get across what you actually need it to do, and it does it, then, you know, I think it can definitely be curtailed to a number of products and services, you know what I mean, to make them work more efficiently.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and drop a comment below. We'd love to hear from you, and it really helps out.